Hello, hello, hello. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I was just, well, basically faffing about, I'll be honest. So let me get myself sorted and see if anyone can join me. It's a bit dull today outside, to say the least. So I'm hoping that the colour looks okay. Hello, Cleo. I don't know if that made a blind bit difference. Tiny bit. Right, let's hold on and I'll explain what we're doing today. So it's something a little bit different today and most certainly going to test me. Hello, Michelle. And if you're coming here today expecting a masterpiece of art, then I'm afraid you might possibly be disappointed. However, that's kind of the point of this challenge. Hi, Isabel. When we got a few more on to explain. So I love to do challenges. I find they really push you out of your comfort zone sometimes, and you can often surprise yourself and find you're good at something or you like something that you've not tried before. Just really good to do. Also usually restricts you in what you can use, and again that really helps the creative process, I think, a lot of the time, because if you're sort of a more experienced crafter, I don't mean good, I mean just experienced, you've probably got an awful lot of stash, and sometimes that's actually very overwhelming because you don't know what to choose and you just sit there and stare at things for a long time. So challenges are good for that. So a few on now. Today, one of my favourite group challenges is the Finnabair Art Daily Cafe. They announced their new June challenge. So if you pop over to there, it's Art Daily Cafe. You could take part in this challenge. Maybe you're going to craft along with me. That would be even nicer. So the challenge is, June theme is portrait. The colour is black, so that's quite challenging for some people. And they always accompany with a quote. So the quote is a Salvador Dali quote. Mistakes are almost always of a sacred nature. Never tried to correct them. So we have to have that in mind today. Because portraits, so what I call proper drawing or painting, you know, where it's a realistic painting, especially of something like a figure, an animal, a human, it was never my strong point whatsoever. So that's going to be challenging in itself. So I'm going to do a kind of face, portrait of a face or part of a face. That's what I'm going to try to do. Black and white, and I was having a look through Pinterest for some inspiration, and I saw a lot done on top of old like book papers and stuff, and I really like that. So I'm going to start putting some papers down first. So this is my art journal. You've seen quite a few times now. It's getting very, very fat, although there are still an awful amount of pages left to go. So I'm going to work on a craft page today. It's quite thick craft stock. You can hear it's pretty decent. The page is quite flat anyway. I've got it opened up nicely. So I'm going to start with some old paper. This is the back of an old excuse me, music book. So I'm going to use that. And then I've also got some of the finnabair tissue papers that I love, that I thought I would apply a little bit over the top. And then obviously this is old, it's quite discoloured, so I might slightly whiten it in areas so that I can get my sketch painting on top. Okay, so we're going to start with popping this down. So I need something sticky. So I've got my medium acrylic transparent. I want it to be transparent because I'm going to paint or draw over the top. I don't want it to resist anything. So this is this brand. You may see it called a matte medium, soft matte gel, anything like that. It needs to be matte and thin and sticky. Oh, is this a pot I haven't cleaned? I've just put hand cream on as well, which was a bad idea, wasn't it? There we go. That was the hand cream. So you want something that's quite thin and very sticky, not thick, because if it was thick it's going to shred this to pieces if you try to stick it down. So thin but very sticky. So let me just use my silicone brush because I'm going to cover the whole page basically, but I'm going to do it in little sections. I think I'll do like a little square, a little rectangle I should say, and kind of overlap them. They don't have to fill the whole page. And it's really important. This is a book with a spine. It's not on rings or loose pages. So when you get towards the spine, it's really important to make sure it's stuck down as flat as possible, or anything a bit more dimensional. Don't go too close to the spine, as you're going to find it really hard to close that, and or it'll knock into the spine and whatever you've got on the next page, and it may even actually come off. So let's go down there for this bit. Actually, let's put this bit down here. Okay. So this is going to be a very relaxed crafting today. Hi Magdalene. It's going to be lots of sketching, nothing too full on, quite flat. It's going to be more of a an art for pleasure type demo. Okay, so why don't you grab a sketchbook or something you've got, some watercolor paper, just an old book. You could draw straight into an old book. Anything you've got, anything you could draw or paint on. Why don't you grab some and draw, just do some drawing. Like the lady who wrote the post on the finnabair page was still saying, drawing, colouring is something we do as children, and we love it. We do it for enjoyment, and a lot of the time we forget how to do that as adults, and it's a little bit sad really, because we really do love to draw as children, and we don't really care as children either. It doesn't really matter what it looks like. We just did it because it's fun, and our mothers or fathers or whoever would, the receiver of the drawing would take great pride in it and love it because it's something you've done. So it'd be nice to remember what it was like, just to do something for fun, for pleasure, with no pressure to create a masterpiece. So yeah, it'd be nice if we could get that feeling back today. So I'm going to try not to be judgmental of myself because I know I'm not going to win Portrait of the Year award, but that doesn't mean I can't do something and enjoy it and make it, in my own style. So that's what I'm going to do. No pressure day. Okay, that looks quite nice. Need a bit there. So I really want to make sure this is all stuck down now, so you can get a bit of kitchen roll or something and just push. Whoops, not that. Come back. Not that hard. Just make sure that's all pushed down nicely, and you can also wipe off any excess gel you've got at the same time. Okay, I'm going to dry that just to make sure that's all stuck before I go to the tissue paper. So just a quick blast with my heat gun. Was there any arty sort of things, craft things, or just in general that you remember doing as a child or when you were younger that you don't do anymore, or you don't do enough of, and you'd love to do that again? You know, something that you really enjoyed. I used to play the clarinet at school. I wasn't like amazing, but I got to quite a good level. I think I was about to take my level 6 exam, if I remember rightly. So I got quite good at it, and to be honest, I haven't played it for years. That's a bit sad, and I've always enjoyed music, so maybe that's something I could take back up. I'm more wanting the writing because I'm going to be doing a big sketch. I don't want too much in the way, too much busy, so I'm going to take this writing from the middle. Oh, thanks, Hazel. No, I'm not. It's not to put myself down, but that particular style, you know, doing portraits and stuff, isn't my strong point. That's why I'm saying I'm not going to, you know, we can't all be good at everything. That's just life, isn't it? But it doesn't mean that we can't give it a go and still sort of enjoy ourselves. That's what I was trying to get across. You know, just because you're not amazing at something, it doesn't mean you can't take pleasure in it. Say, you know, I'm not I don't know, Marco Pierre White or something, but I like to cook. It doesn't mean I can't cook because I'm not amazing at it. I think we get too judgmental of ourselves sometimes, and that can, especially in craft, I think we always judge ourselves by others, and then it takes the enjoyment away from for us, and that's sad because the point is to, you know, for a lot of people, craft to relax, to just escape, and when we judge ourselves by others, we do ruin that a lot. And you know, if you just to copy all the time, you stop your creativity. So yeah, just sometimes let loose, just let your hair down, do something for fun with no, you know, no pressure. And yeah, you might surprise yourself as well. You may find a hidden talent. Okay, so I'm putting some strips of the tissue paper over the top now. It's going to give me a little bit of texture, a different feel to the paper, much lighter, whereas the paper's quite heavy. Got some text on there. Okay, and that's going to form the basis of my background. I am going to lighten it slightly with some white gesso, so I can find it easier to get my picture on top. I don't want to do it all because it's a beautiful paper, so I don't want to lose all of that. Yes, we need to be brave. You know, if I make a complete mess, does it matter? No. What are you all going to do? Shoot me? I hope not. Please don't shoot me. No, I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? I go, okay, I didn't really like that, but I had fun doing it. That's fine. It's still a success. If you have fun, or whatever it is you set out to do, chill, relax, challenge yourself, then you've succeeded still. I think that's really important at the minute. We need to let go. Life, you know, it's not easy at the minute. It's stressful and unsettling. So if you can do something that lets it all go for a bit, then brilliant. Right, I'm going to firstly give the whole page a coat in white, clear gesso, apologies, because I want to protect this pretty paper, but I need it to be matte, ready for me to paint or draw on top of. Okay, so this one I've said before, the Fabrica clear gesso is a little bit thick for how normal clear gessos are. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit in my lid and then just add a little touch of water just to loosen it slightly. Okay. Right, here we go. But that's good really, because you get more for your money, because I can make it go further. So it's not a negative in my book. I'm quite happy to get more for my money. If you're covering something like a wood, something a bit more thick, a bit cumbersome, then the thickness of the clear gesso would actually be a good thing. Or, you know, a bit of an awkward material, say like a material that's going to soak some of it up. That's going to help us. I've got a hair there. I get frustrated when that happens. You get a bristle or hair or something. So I stopped using really cheap paintbrushes. So it absolutely infuriates me. There's a little hair there. Right, I think it's on the paper. It's probably that blasted cat that I've been cuddling a minute ago. Came to see me. Oh, he's really crying today. I'm sure you'll probably hear him in a bit. Hello, Kasha. Hello, Emma. Right, so I've got my clear gesso on. Let's give that a quick dry. So I've made sure my paper's stuck down really nicely with a matte medium or matte acrylic, whatever you want to call it. And now I've protected those pages and also made them matte, ready for me to do anything on top of with some clear gesso. And I just said as well, I'm going to lighten it slightly in areas so that I can get my sketch or painting on there. I've chosen out some different black paints and also some pencils and even a black biro. So this is where the challenge can really make you think. So black, people often don't think of black and white as being colours, but they're actually really important colours and can really make a piece of work. And black, there's different blacks. Funnily, that sounds stupid, you know, no, there's black, but no, there's not. Some blacks are more subtle, some are very dark. It could be that you've got something glossy, something matte, textured, liquid, thick. So you can challenge yourself in that, like what black materials can I use? So it could be pens, it could be pencils, inks, paints. Hello, Mary. So that in itself will really get you thinking. Right, so that's that. So I'm going to lighten this a little bit with some white gesso. Now I got the thick one out, but I would actually like a thinner white gesso. So let me get a thin one. Will I be able to find one? Probably not. Oh, here we go. Just because you're doing a live, you can't find what you want, isn't it? So I did get my heavy white gesso out, but this time I want actually a thinner one because I want to be able to work on top of it. So again, I'm just gonna actually water this down because I just want to do kind of wash really. So I'm gonna get quite a bit of water in my lid here again. Let's see how that's looking. Yeah, that's it. So I'm not covering it. I don't want to cover this pretty paper. I just want to lighten it down in some areas, especially like where this bold writing is. Hello, Sarah. Okay, so I'm just gonna fade it down a little bit. don't want to lose all the brown because it's a nice colour and it's something different that will show through. And I'll just get a little bit thicker to cover those really dark words a little bit more. Okay, that's fine. We don't want to cover it all. Right, I might need that later. I won't need that and I won't need that. So let's get that out of the way. Oops, throw everything on the floor. Right, so let's try that again. And then we can start. Ooh, scary. Hairs again. It must be on that old paper. And if you decided it's a bit too dark, you can take a baby wipe while it's still wet, or a wet cloth, and just knock it back a bit. I want to get it quite dry now, because I'm going to start to draw and paint on top, so we don't want this mixing with it, especially when you try and draw on top of a paint or a gesso and it's not dry. That's not going to work, definitely not. You're going to just start drawing lines into the gesso and not leave any marks, you know, no pencil or pen marks. So we need it really dry. And if you were using like a glossy paper or something, that's another reason the gesso would be really important. You wouldn't be able to start drawing in an ink pen or a pencil very easily onto a gloss paper. Okay, so we've got a nice background now. Let me hold it up a little bit. Really nice, vintagey, slightly textured page. Right, so here's where we get a bit brave now. Now, I was looking at lots of different portraits, so some where it's close up of eyes or lips, or one where it's kind of a full face. I'm not doing a whole figure, I was going to concentrate on a face, but I was trying to decide, do I do a whole face, like is it going to be front on, or particular features like eyes. I like eyes. So we need to decide that now. So there's one, I was looking at the captures. Let's get a lighter pencil to start drawing with. Let's see. It's quite a wide page we've got. I'm really terrible at hands, so I'm going to try to avoid drawing hands. There was one, you know, where a lady's got her chin propped on her hand. I think I'll try. I'm not very good at noses, but I'll give it a go. Alright, lips and eyes, but noses not great. I could do one of those kind of noses where it's more looking at the nostrils and not the whole nose, if you know what I mean. So let's see, what should we do? Okay, I'm gonna go for it and be brave. Right, I'm gonna take so this is a H pencil, so I want one that's not gonna leave too strong marks to start with. Just kind of get some rough shapes going on. I need it to be bigger. We'll have a look. Let's just draw some rough shapes and then we can look. So, as I said, not going to be Portrait Artist of the Year. So, please forgive me, but that's exactly what this challenge is about. Just the Dali quote, you know, you think, oh, that's a mistake, that's terrible. Well, why is it? Did you have fun? Did you learn how to use something? Okay. So I'm just trying to get some vague shapes down for now. Then we can work on it. Okay, very vague. Okay, need some eyebrows. I'm going to go for the Picasso style today. More of a bit of cubism or something, you know, very non-realistic. Not feeling like the nose bit. Does anyone else do faces and really struggle with the nose? Like the eyes you can work on and they kind of get like eyes, but noses I just find so difficult. Okay, it's a start. So I've got some shapes. Let's put some eyeballs in our eyes. Okay, this is not terrible. It's just something I can work with. Okay, that's a good starting point. So, what I want to make like the hairs, so like the eyebrows, the eyelashes, quite expressive, and I was thinking to colour just the only colour to be the around the eye, around the pupil, and maybe like some tears. I don't know, like she's been crying, so it's some mascara or something. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. Right, so I'm gonna start filling this in now, and we'll go from there. Right, I think. Shall we put in the whites of the eyes first? So I don't know if I want the whites of the eyes. Maybe I'll come back to that later. Okay, so I've gathered selection of things. Let me show you that. So I was on about the colour of the eye being the only colour. So I've got liquid acrylic ultramarine and Dina Wakley acrylic paint in sky. So they're going to be my colour. And then all the blacks, I've got a black Liquitex paint marker, Dina black acrylic, black liquid acrylic finnabair, impasto black, pitch black, and that is it. And I've got a black biro if I want to do that, and my pencils, I've got different pencils, so H pencils and B pencils. So let's begin and be brave. Is that black? Yeah, I thought that was umber then. Right, so I think the liquid paint would be good to get some base colour down. Oh, that's not what I wanted. That's Dina Wakley paint. Let's try that again. This one, that's what I want, just to get this kind of shapes filled in. So I'm just going to put a tiny dot off to my mat. I don't know if you can see here, just a tiny blob. I'm going to add some water to that. So I always spraying my water next to the ink so that I don't squirt it all over the desk. So I've got a selection of brushes. I want to start with something small so that I don't kind of make any big blodges. I think I just invented my own word there. And we can start with it quite watered down to get kind of lighter look. Sorry, I'm going to be a bit quiet today, I think. This might be one you could watch with no sound as well. Just me having a bit of fun today. Okay, let's see if we can create more of a nose, impression of a nose by putting a bit of shadow around. Maybe going from the eye down a bit. Okay, it's not horrendous. I'm actually okay with this so far. Okay, so there's some kind of vague shapes in there, and very lightly. We could do a little bit into the eye. Oops, that's a little too dark. Let me get my pencil back. Okay, let me dry that firstly. Stop that smudging. I hope you can sort of see a face appearing. It's quite light at the moment. I think it looks better looking through the camera than it does direct. Yeah. Okay, so I want a really thin paintbrush now. I'm gonna go with that same paint and try and get some outlines going a bit more. I think I need a thicker paint actually. Let's switch to the acrylic now, so the Dina. So I'm going to put a little dot onto my mat again so I can pick that up with my brush. So what I'm going to do now is go back into those same areas. Just trying to work in a bit more of a line, like a bit of shadow, so you can create the shapes a bit more. I'm working from a picture for inspiration, just to kind of give me you know, where the shadows should kind of fall. So that might be something you want to do, like it could be a photo of you or someone you know, or just a magazine picture, or just something to help work out where lines should kind of be. I'd like to see Cleo and Deb do this challenge. Just saying. Especially, is it Deb? Yeah, Deb, I think you, the painter. I'd love to see you have a go at this. I've seen some of your work. So I'm just kind of giving the impression of the down eyelash. This isn't the best quality little brush, but I can't find any other really tiny ones. Lol. That would be Deb then, is it? Oh, my picture disappeared. Come back. Oh, someone sent me a message. I was looking at the eye just to kind of work out where shadow should fall. Which picture was I looking at? This one. Both of you? Oh, well, there you go then. You don't have to do it live. I'm not challenging you that much. Just to give it a go. It would be cool to see. Looks a little bit scary on the picture now. I've just got the really bold eye. It's a little bit jokerish at the moment now. Oh, excellent. I want to see it. Come on, give it a go. Be brave. Look what I'm doing. I'm no painter. I'm not properly painter. I'm giving it a try. Being a bit brave. Okay, I'm starting to get some shapes. I kind of wish I hadn't done that eye. It's so bold, so I may go over that a little bit. Oh, thank you. I'm trying. It's not going to be amazing, but I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying taking some time to just chill and have a silly paint session. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Let me get a clean thing. That wasn't what I meant to do. Okay, I need to put the eyelashes in at the top. That'll help make it, I think. Okay, I really need like a more precise paintbrush. This one is moving too much. Let me see. What have I got? They're too soft. I need like a firm but like a pointed paintbrush. All my tiny paintbrushes are really naff. I think that I need to treat myself to some more small paintbrushes. No, that's going to be no better than the one I've got. Okay, we shall continue with this then. Okay. I would love a really thin brush here to be able to do the eyebrow properly, but right, let's get some. I mean, my eye and my eyelash. I mean, my eye and my eyebrow are a bit close together, but never mind. I think maybe what I'll do is get the final lines with a pencil, because I just don't have a small enough firm brush to get like those kind of eyelashes in properly. Okay, a little bit more water, filling this lip a little bit more. I'm just kind of smudging it out with my finger. Okay, so I'm going to switch to a pencil now for a bit to try and get some of this more detail in. I'm just going to clean my hands so I don't smudge paint back over. I'm going to give this a dry as well. Alright, how long have I been doing this? Oh, 45 minutes already. See? That felt like 10 minutes, so I've really got into this. I'm enjoying it. I did do a portrait once at school, and I don't know if it's because I wasn't great at portraits or I just really enjoyed it. It was like a collage portrait, and I literally spent, I think, it might have even been one term doing it, or half a term I think, just on the same piece of work. It was really quite wacky, I remember as well, like the frame or the background was all like face pieces, like cut out of magazines, like noses and eyes and lips and stuff. Yeah, so I do enjoy spending time. I wish I had more time to spend on one piece, you know, and really just kind of lose yourself in it. So if you're in the unfortunate case that you're at home at the minute, why not do something that's going to take a bit longer? Take advantage of that time. Right, I need darker pencil. I want a B. Let's go 5B. That's better. Now we can really get the kind of hair marks in there. So I'm just doing much smaller lines with the pencil now. Try and make this look more like hair. And we can fill in some bits as well. Up my eye. Because at the minute it just looks like a floating pupil. It's a little bit strange at the moment. Let's go to a darker pencil. And we can shade a bit more around her nose. So Again, it looks like a nose, not just a floating pair of nostrils. Maybe from down. Ooh, not break my finger now. To create this impression of a nose, like the shape, you know, from the eye rather than this floating pair of nostrils. Right, the lips are looking quite good, but they're not quite there. Sorry if this is a bit of a quieter video. I mean, I haven't got lots of techniques to show you, or, you know, that sort of thing. This is really just to kind of lose yourself, I guess. And, you know, to show you can give this a go. I mean, you need very basic supplies. You're going to need some pencils, preferably some H, some B, but whatever you've got is fine. And some sort of black medium. So it could be paints, pencils, inks. Whatever you've got will do. Okay, I think I need to put the white of the eye in. So I was going to use this really light modelling paste. It's one we had in our kits and caboodles kit. So I'm going to use my finger. I chose this because it, as it suggests, it's very light, but it'll give me a nice kind of texture as well without being too heavy. A bit similar to the gesso, how that did that, I guess. I'm just using my finger so I get like a nice texture. And then I will apply the colour of the eye after. I want to make the pupil look a little bit less, you know, there's like a dot plopped in there. It needs to look like a pupil. Okay, and we can use this as well to add some highlights. So you've got shadows, but highlights are just as important. So where does the light catch your face? You've got all angles, you know, our face is 3D, the light will hit different bits just as it doesn't and create shadows. So both are important and work together. And the modelling paste is mixing with the pencil a little bit, so it's not too stark white. So this is another form of collage, really. It's great for your journal. You could draw, paint, etc. your face and then cut that out and apply it onto your work, onto your background. I need to add something up there. Let's just go straight in with this pen. So that's the good thing about these little ones in the pens. You can go straight in with it. Let's just push that out a little bit with a brush. You know, just like when you do makeup, people use their highlighter to get their crisp brow or whatever it is you do. I'm certainly no makeup artist. Much less so than a painting artist. But yeah, you know, just to get that nice edge back. Okay, I feel kind of happy with that actually. And I like that gessos like help create the impression of the nose. I'm gonna just extend that a little bit with this paste. Yeah, I'm actually really pleased with this. It looks kind of good. I mean, it's not a realistic eye, but why does it have to be? My partner's a bit like that, you know. Well, what is it? Well, it's not necessarily anything, you know. You just do your doodle or whatever. But what is it? No, it's not anything. It's just, but it looks nice, doesn't it? No, I don't understand it. Some people's brains aren't programmed that way, are they? Okay, I'm going to dry all that because I don't want to lose what I've got there so far. I'd like a really white just to get in the whites of the eye. So I'll get my impasto white. It's a very bold white. So let me get a little touch of that. Now my one is really reaching the end of its life where I didn't treat it kindly. But I'm carrying on with it because it's super thick now, so it's actually really good. Smaller paintbrush. So I'm gonna not water it down. Get it really thick. And mine is very thick where I didn't shut the lid properly. Thanks, Cleo, by the way. I didn't say. I got a bit lost in myself. Oh, do you know what I've done? I put it on top of my black paint. I thought that doesn't seem very white. I put it on a clean part of my mat. That would help, wouldn't it? I really want to get this bit white. Let me get another brush then. This old tatty brush actually would be good for this bit. See what I meant, like about there's not just white and black, you know, there's differences. This white, that's white, this is white, they're totally different. Okay, that looks better. And then we can fill that shape back in again with the pencils later on when we just kind of get on with the colour and think about the background now, and I'll come back at the end, I think, and fix any little details. I'm looking on the camera, her eyes are jumping out quite good, the lips look good, and the nose is actually not too bad. The eyelashes are a little bit crazy, a little bit Liza Minnelli style, but that's okay, I can live with that. I just needed a thinner brush really, but hey ho, never mind. Right, so I'll just fill in that shape of the eye, just so because I'm going to add my colour now. Ooh, this is where I'm hoping I don't ruin it by adding the colour. Ah. I wanted it to just be something really striking though. I think I'll start with the liquid acrylic, so ultramarine. So I'm going to do the same again. Tiny dot off to my mat, really tiny this time because I'm only covering the tiniest of area just into that eye. I'm running out of tiny paintbrushes. Let me clean one of these up. Fine, so this one. Just clean my brush off. Right. Oh, that's very bold. I need a little bit of water. So these are so strong. I put the tiniest of dots, and can you see how strong that is? Very, very strong. So these paints, they're little bottles, but wow, do they go a long way. Okay, I'm gonna start with a very watered down colour to see how that looks. Yes, even that is very strong. Oh, that actually looks quite nice. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so that's that. Ooh, it's looking, do you know what, that just really changed that eye so much. And I'll try something. So this is the sky acrylic. I'm gonna just try from the bottle so that I just want a little bit of texture to it. Okay, it's a little bit too much, but the idea was right. So that's really dirty. Let's get a clean one. Don't want to rub all black into that. Yes, it's looking good. And I'm just going to go back in with that liquid acrylic a little bit. Ooh, I like it. Yay! Now we could echo a little bit of this blue down on the lip. Just to, I know lips, you don't normally have blue. You can have blue lipstick, but just I don't want any other colours. I just want black, white, and a little touch of blue. So we could, on the nose, we can use this like a highlight or shadow as well now. Okay, I think that's it for the face. I'm gonna do the like teardrops that was on about. So this is another scary moment. We've got to be brave again. So remember that quote. Do not rectify our mistakes. It's happening for a reason. Be brave. Okay, so I'm thinking the liquid acrylic in black again. We're going to get some teardrops coming down her eyes. So I'm watering down the black liquid acrylic. And these are in the shop now. When I did the big new stock, that was the one thing I didn't show you. So we do have a small stock because I found them quite hard to get hold of this time from 2 different suppliers. But yeah, small stock, but yeah, you can get them. And we'll be getting more because I really love them. They're just something different. They obviously they're liquid, so you can use them like watercolor style, but they're acrylic. They dry semi-glossy like an acrylic. and they're permanent. You don't need to, like, say, a watercolor. You would want to probably seal that. I'm not like tooting my own horn, but this has actually turned out really actually quite good. And you're all going to think, what load of bull doodah she's on about. But honestly, I'm not. Maybe my delve into all this kind of mixed media art and stuff has actually improved my more serious art without realizing. So I'm just working on some general shadows, like in the background and stuff now. Yeah, I am gonna say it. I like it. It looks good. I'm quite impressed with myself. But that's a little bit. I think that maybe that's what's changed. I was rushed too much at school or something. Well, you know, I was a teenager. Yeah, this definitely looks a lot better. Okay, I think face wise it's done. Let's do some more dots. Just want to work on the background a little bit now, I think. So I've got quite a bit of this black acrylic. Let's use this. So I just want to make this more whole piece. So I don't want it to just be a face on a page. I want the page to be part of it, if that makes sense. And actually, let me just dry the face, the tears, etc., so I don't knock those and smudge them. So I've just got my finger. I really like to paint with my fingers in my journal. I think a journal, it can be quite private. I mean, I share most of mine with you because I do my demos in it. It can be quite a very private thing, and as I said, you know, somewhere to kind of let loose. So I like finger painting. I think that helps with that process, letting loose. And yeah, I like to do that, and paints are a great way to do that. You could get things like wax pencils, oil pastels, that kind of thing, chalk pastels. That would be great to use in your journal too. I think I get some of that modeling paste that I used before. Any kind of texture paste would be fine. I just thought to use this one because I know it's a particularly light one. I didn't want anything too heavy, so I'm going to add some texture again with my finger. That's enough of that. And I'm gonna test it off the page because this paint marker, wherever I've put it, where have I hidden it? There it is. Sometimes it's a bit funny. Okay, I just wanted to add some finer dots with this. And it's kind of, I don't want it to be too bold. being very careful. Anyone who's drawn with pen, you know what I mean? And sometimes you do, oh, I've ruined it. Look how bold that is. So I'm being very, very gentle. And I'm using my finger to smudge it out so it's not too bold. I'm just going to fill in those pupils a little bit again. And this is again saying about black. This is a dark black. This is quite bold. So these are the acrylic again. So it's a bit shiny. It's in a pen, so you can get some lines with it. I'm just trying to pick out those eyebrows a little bit more now. They're a bit slug-like. Okay, I think she's done. Well, I surprised myself. See what I said? You might surprise yourself. I have big time surprised myself. Wow. And I was so scared to put the blue on, and the blue actually made it. So there you go. So very basic idea. We put some old papers and some tissue paper on the background. Added a bit of white gesso to be able to work on top of it. And then very, very basic. So I've used a mixture of black paints and pencils. Some acrylics for the colour and the eye. With the liquid acrylics. So these were the eye colour. So this for colour, this for texture and a brighter colour. And the backgrounds and the lady's face, we've used acrylic paint black, liquid acrylic black. I used a black marker. I used pencils, so different pencils, H and B pencils. So H for getting the sharper, lighter lines, B for your softer, darker lines. We used a bit of the modelling paste. Any modelling paste is fine. I just wanted a thinner one, so I used this one for some highlights in the eye and on the background. And that's pretty much it. So basic supplies, and created a really nice journal piece. Actually, I need to just dry this edge off, and it's done. So thank you for stuck with me for that. It's probably not the most exciting tutorial to watch, but I hope it shows you that you can do it, because I am not great at faces. So go on and give it a go. It's a really good challenge actually, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye bye.